And now the end is near, so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear and state my case, of which I'm certain. I lived a life that's full, and I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, and then again too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. There were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off much more than I could chew. But through it all, when I was down, I ate it up, I spit it out, I faced it all, and I stood tall. I did it my way. I have loved and laughed and I have cried, and I've had my share of losing. And now as tears subside, I find it amusing to think I did all that. May I say, not in a shy way. No, not me. I did it my way. What are we all? What have you really got? If not yourself, then you are not. Just say the things you truly feel, and not the words of the one who kneels. The record
opportunity to recognize Don McLeod, CAO, representing the town of Kenora, Larry Timko, Alderman, City of Thunder Bay, Ken Boschka, Alderman, City of Thunder Bay, Ollie Sawchuk, representing the Ministry of Culture and Communications, Province of Ontario, Ian Angus, MP, Government of Canada. Reverend David Bradford, representing the clergy, honored members, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Directors and all members of the Sports Hall of Fame, welcome to our 7th annual induction dinner. I wish to extend a sincere thanks to the entire dinner committee who have contributed a great deal of time and energy to make this event possible. I'd particularly like to thank the staff who really did all the work. And I'd like to recognize Diane, Dorothy, Kay, Karen, and Mary Melanie. Would you please stand to be recognized? Special thanks to all the inductees, their families, and friends who have traveled long distances to participate in these festivities. Your presence will make a tremendous contribution to its success. We hope you will enjoy the evening, the dinner, the induction ceremony, and a full evening of sportsmanship. And now to carry on with the rest of the program, please join me in welcoming our MC for the evening from radio station CBQ, Terry Morris. Terry.
Thank you very much, Fred, and it's always a pleasure for my wife Dorothy and I to be with these people, these inductees for the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame dinner. This morning I was trying to get myself a bit of the spirit, and I was singing in the shower, and I was singing They Did It Their Way. Well, I'm a little less than Frank Sinatra, and more like Smiley Burnett, if you remember him. You won't have to listen to my singing tonight, thank heavens for that. But you'll be hearing Denise Kursiva sing They Did It Their Way. First of all, I'm going to call upon Denise Kursiva to sing our national anthem, O Canada. Please stand.
Native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Anyway, I take this opportunity to present this check to Mr. McCormick for the Hall of Fame and hope that they can continue to have these banquets from year to year and get-togethers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gordy, very much. It wasn't so many years ago that you came up here and represented your father, who was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, and it certainly goes well that we can have that kind of gift given to us to enable this Sports Hall of Fame to continue. It doesn't continue because we wish it to do. It continues because people like yourself from all walks of life in this community give of their time and effort and financial resources to enable this sports hall to continue to do the things we are going to do this evening. Tonight, we're here to honor people, both men and women, who has significantly contributed to the fabric of Northwestern Ontario, who have enabled their names and our names to be broadcast across this world and this continent, and enabled the community to gather pleasure and grace from their efforts. How many of you can forget the Lee Fogelman of the Blackhawks, who with his boisterous play destroyed many opponent as he zeroed in on that 10 feet in front of the NHL hockey net? How many of you can forget the grace of Helen Reith, the Edgar LaPrads, the Tom Jones, who defied the laws of gravity and sped to victory on an unknown sport in those days? How many of you can stand and not think that this community is enriched by those endeavors and by the thoughts and wisdom of the people that were involved in the competitions worldwide and who have brought grace and pleasure and prominence to this city? The reflection that the Board of Governors of this sports hall get from this dinner is the look in the eye of the recipient as he receives his plaque and ring. What it does is take these individuals back to the height of the glory of their days, when as young men and women they performed at the greatest feat of their sport. Because truly, we're honoring people who have done their very best. And in doing their very best, that only happens so often in your lifetime. Today in Seoul, Korea, people are chasing the gold. While tonight, we have surrounding us people who have grasped the gold and are winners in the minds of all of us who are gathered here this evening. Your families should feel proud of you. You should feel proud. The board and all that were involved in this induction dinner feel very proud to have you inducted in the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. It is your evening. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bob. We'd now like to bring official greetings from three levels of government. First of all, with the City of Thunder Bay, please welcome Lawrence Simcoe. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honored guests, inductees. With me tonight is Alderman Ken Boschkoff, and I think Ken and I have been here every year of the inductions. And Ken has proposed a motion that we try and facilitate the Northwest Sports Hall of Fame in new facilities, and hopefully that will come about. The space is rather crowded. And I guess if all levels of government will contribute and maybe perhaps some sponsorships, we can build a new facility that is so much needed. I guess Thunder Bay is blessed with outstanding athletes. I think on a per capita basis, I think we have more than any other city in the country. In the recent Winter Olympics, we had participation, both athletes and officials. In the Seoul Olympics, we have athletes from Thunder Bay and the district, and I know I'm very proud, and I'm sure we're all very proud and are anxious to watch and wish them all well. To see I'm not sure if everyone's seen the opening ceremonies last night of the Olympics. It was an outstanding event, and to see 160 countries participate and I guess compete, one would only hope that that would be the only area that all countries would compete at, is in the athletic areas, and we would have a nice peaceful world. And I know if we could just get rid of all the arms that are and all the problems in the world and just compete at a level of sportsmanship, I would certainly appreciate that happening someday. On behalf of the mayor, who was out of town tonight, and the rest of council, I wish everyone well here tonight, and I'm proud to be a part of the organization, and hopefully I'm around to participate and support you for a number of years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. To bring greetings on behalf of the Ministry of Culture and Communications, would you please welcome Ollie and Sasha. Ollie.
Mr. Chairman, inductees, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be here tonight to bring greetings on behalf of the Ministry of Culture and Communications and to congratulate you who, through your attainment of excellence in your field of endeavor, are being inducted into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. The Minister of Culture and Communications, the Honourable Lily Odi-Go, has also sent greetings to everyone here tonight. The text of her message is included in your program. We often hear that a community is only as good as the people who live in it. We certainly have a community of which we can be very proud. The efforts and achievements of so many to make this community a good place to live is exemplified by those of you who are being honored tonight. I extend my personal congratulations to you, as well as my best wishes to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame for continued success in its preservation of Northwestern Ontario's rich sports heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, Ollie Sawchuk. And to bring greetings on behalf of the Government of Canada, the Thunder Bay Atikokan Member of Parliament, Ian Angus. Ian?
Thank you, Terry, inductees, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be here tonight to help the sporting fraternity of Northwestern Ontario in saluting some of the great athletes and builders of our region. Each of you, both those who are being inducted tonight and those of you who have been inducted in years past, have made major contributions to sport in Northwestern Ontario. And for that, I and the people of Canada salute you. I want to thank the Board of Directors of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame for their ongoing work in honoring the region's best. Without that organization bringing together people of the sporting fraternity, we would not have an opportunity such as tonight to honor those who have given their all in the improvement of amateur and professional sport in this region. It's important that this event occurs tonight, the day after the opening ceremonies at the Seoul Olympics and the day of the first competition, because it brings into focus the value of such international sports competitions, both as a sporting event and as a means of breaking down the political and economic barriers that too often rear themselves throughout this planet Earth. In addition to area athletes competing in Seoul over the next 2 weeks, and their parents and their friends, there are two individuals who are here tonight, one of them an inductee, who tomorrow morning will be flying off to Seoul to watch the games, to see the activities that are occurring in the city of Seoul and in the country of Korea. My spies have been at work today, and I'm told that the inductee has been scurrying around town trying to find a Canadian flag to take with him to Seoul. As those of us who saw the opening ceremonies last night when the Canadian team was marched on the field, we saw the stands with Canadians in them waving the Canadian flag. And I know that it would be inappropriate for Canadians to be over there without having the tools to say to the world, we're from Canada. So to Dr. George Gwizdecki, George, if you come forward, I have 2 flags, a bunch of pins for you to take over.
And George and Mario, when you're over there, if you would bring the greetings of all of us here tonight and the best wishes to the athletes from Thunder Bay and from Northwestern Ontario. For the rest of you, I'm really pleased to be here tonight, and I know that the people we are honoring deserve it more than anybody else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ian, and I know George will be joining his wife and son, who are already in Seoul, South Korea, and we do wish him Godspeed. I'd like now to introduce, just offer prayer, the Reverend David Bradford. And I'd ask you to remain standing, stand down, remain standing for the toast to the Queen and our moment of silence as well. Reverend Bradford.
Let us pray. We thank thee, Lord, for the privilege of being here, for the joy and fellowship which is ours at this time, for the examples of determination and skill and leadership shown to us by those whom we honor tonight. We ask that thou wilt bless this food to our use, and us to thy service. Make us ever mindful of the needs of others. All this we ask in thy name, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Legion, Metro Council for the toast to the Queen.
Could I ask you please to raise your glasses? Ladies and gentlemen, the Queen.
Particularly former inductees, Vic Fortes, Ed Lozon, and Dr. Douglas Rathbone. May their souls rest in peace. Thank you. Sit down, please. Sit down. Introduce some of the people who are here. President of the Hall of Fame, Rob McCormick. Rob? The first vice president, right now, right? Next gentleman is the second vice president and chairman of the Hall's Fame 600 Club fundraising project, which, by the way, begins this Wednesday. Anyone interested in getting in on the draw, you can see Bill, and that Bill is Bill Mulcamal. Bill? The past president of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Lawrence McCormick, better known as Bernard. Secretary, Nick Hill. The treasurer, Nell Scaparelli. Membership Chairman, Larry Vesna. Representing Fort Christ is Dennis Fleury. Dennis, way back there. Representing Lincoln University, a fit and full professor, Norm Lavoie. Norm. Representing Thunder Bay, and just as fit, Ted Murphy. Representing Thunder Bay as well, Russ Poole. Russ. Representing the city of Thunder Bay and the council, Lawrence Timko. A participant of the Young Leaders Program, Teresa Durhack. Teresa. And a participant of the Young Leaders Program as well, Jennifer Magarowitz. We'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce some of the former inductees present tonight. May I ask you to hold your applause until all the names have been read. If you do that, I'll be very surprised, but I'm asking you to do it anyway. In the builders category, we have Lauren Aller. two-time inductee also in the 1939 Port Arthur Bearcats. Bones. Great referee over there, Bill McKenzie. Billy? Pretty fair boxer in his time, Del Scavarelli. In the amateur athletes, Ruth Black. Stan Cook, Stan's down over there. Stan? Will you stand, Stan? Ron Lappage. And a pretty fair center fielder, Ole Sutton. Pretty Ole. In the professional athletes category, the two-time inductee also with the 1939 Port Arthur Bearcats, Edgar LaPratt. Edgar. A great hockey player whose career was cut a little short, but was Rookie of the Year. A great hockey player, Penty Lund. Penty. Another two-time inductee also with the 1948 Port Arthur Bruins, Benny White. Benny. Now we also have some team members. The 1975 World Champion mixed bowling team. A member of that team was Lucille Ball. You're looking for the freezer redhead, weren't you? The 1939 Allen Cup winner, Port Arthur Bearcats, Don Gordon. 1964 Canadian International or Intermediate Champion Marathon Mercury's, a fellow that traveled all the way today from Red Rock, Arnold Jorgensen. Where's Arnie? There'll be no mileage, by the way, Arnie. The 1975 Canadian Men's Curling Championship Rick Lang. Rick. The 1939 Allen Cup winning Port Arthur Bearcats, Bert LaPratt. Bert. The 1975 World Champion Mixed Bowling Team, Jim Lee. Jim. The 1958 Fort William Redskins, the Canadian Intermediate Football Champions, Rob McCormick. The 1939 Allen Cup winning Port Arthur Bearcats, Hugh O'Leary. Hugh. Executive member of the 1975 Thunder Bay Twins, Russ Poole. And Coach of the Year for the 1975 Thunder Bay Twins, Dave Siciliano. Now, if we have inadvertently missed anyone, please stand right now. We'll identify you, or you will. Bobby Farrell, stand up. The Bruins. Yes, Red Johansson, right over there. Red, stand up. Any others? Okay. We'd like to recognize a gentleman who's here and is the father of one of our inductees tonight. And he's 91 years old, and the thing of it is, he looks better than the inductee. His name is Joe Fogland. Lee Fogland's dad. Please stand up. Says something about that red wine certainly helps. We'd also like to recognize a son of one of the inductees tonight. He's also going to be named the Rookie of the Year in the Card Indy car. Would you please give a big hand to Johnny Jones. Johnny? And with that Rookie of the Year award, he'll also apparently get $50,000 U.S. money. We'd also like to recognize one other person, and that's the, Bones McCormick was telling me there's three kinds of government. There's municipal, provincial, federal, and then there's Mickey's form of government. Is Mickey Hempsey still here? Is he gone? Mickey go? He's gone. Well, he was here for a little while. He said he may run yet for council, so Mick may be back for a little while. I'd just like to remind you, too, that there's an open house coming up at the Sports Hall of Fame on Balmoral Street. That'll happen between 10 and 2. tomorrow. Everyone, of course, all the inductees, I think, will be over there too. And it'd be nice for you to see all the plaques up on the board there. It's a beautiful museum. In fact, they have some old iron curling rocks there. They have many things there, but an old iron curling rock that weighs about 65 pounds. And Al Hackner, I just want to know how you do on that, on a good old backswing on a 65-pound rock. But they tell me that in those days, way back, Quebec had the 65-pound rocks, and the Westerners had the old 42-pound granites. You can just imagine they all traveled from the West with their 42-pound granites, and they also came away from all the championships. So anyway, I want you to make sure that you do take part in that. We're going to have a little 5-minute break right now, and then we're going to continue with our induction ceremonies. So just, if you want to head to the bar, but 5 minutes, that's it, okay? Congratulations, sincerely, Jack and Danella McGrath, Mark and Cam Lopston, I believe it is. So that's to you, Jim. And also we have a message for Lee Fogelman Sr. It says, Dear Dad, congratulations on this, your very special day. We're so proud of you. You know how special you are to us. We want you to relax and enjoy yourself tonight. You seem to be doing that. You deserve it. We wish that we could be here with you. All of our love, Lee, Harold, Rory, and Michael. That's the Lee. And there's one other Lee that can't be with us tonight. He's a pretty fair hockey player that played with the Edmonton Oilers, the son of Lee Fogelman Sr. Randy Pike got a hold of him the other day on the phone. Randy, of course, with CJLD, and got a hold of him the other day, and here's what he had to say. And I hope we can do this right for you.
Well, we're all very proud of him. It's a tremendous thing to get inducted into the Northwestern Sports Hall of Fame. We're very proud of him. I know how much he helped me when I was a youngster and helped all kinds of kids. And I wish I could be there to be with him. But again, congratulations.
There you are. Let's read it, Lee. We also did mention the press, and we should like to recognize the press because the media do write and record and tape and whatever different stories about our inductees tonight, and have over the years. I'd like to meet, of course, and you all know Bill Guy from the paper, Chronicle Journal. Greatest curler in the world, John Cameron from Thunder Bay Television. The guy who writes a great column in the morning in the Times News, Penny Lund. And a pretty fair sportscaster, a pretty good friend of mine, Randy Pike from CJLD. We'd like now to introduce Denise Persiba to sing the song especially written for our inductees. They did it their way.
Come to town for your induction. We see you standing there, and in our minds are the memories. Those days you played the game, you played so well that we can now say we're glad
highlights our 1988 inductees using photographs and some rare footage from the Hall of Fame collection, starting with our amateur athletes. And let's tell you, look at the monitors in the back of the studio. Clear up our little technical problem. Active in such sports as hockey, baseball, and serving as coach. There's Henry right there. This is Jim Hill, all-around athlete who will be remembered as one of the finest goalies of his time with local teams. Ellen Reith, an all-around athlete active with local ladies teams, including soccer and curling. Jack Chambers, an outstanding oarsman for Fort William. Jack competed in regional regattas, and here's some rare footage of Jack competing in a regatta in Duluth and at the 1938 Royal Canadian Hand-Lake Regatta. Tom Jones, professional auto racer. Isn't he cute? And good on the ice as well. Lee Vogelin, defenseman for Chicago and Detroit, and successful as a coach. Ab Onulak, professional baseball player with an incredible arm. Gilbert Donati, builder of youth hockey for many years. There's Johnny French, an avid curler. Real good. The guy on the left here is Rick Lang with that funny hairdo there. Dr. George Wozdecki, physician, executive member, and coach for many years. The 1982 World Champion Hackner Curling Rink, winners of the Levance Friar and Air Canada Silver Broom. The 1938 Fort William Junior Fours Rowing. Competing in the 1938 regatta, so good were they that they could even beat a coal streamer, as you'll see in this right-hand corner of the screen, coming up very shortly. There they go. Go right by that little steamer there. The shells for the Henley were transported rather to St. Catharines by ship, arriving in the Welland Canal. And here's the 1985 World Curling Championships, or Champions. We have some live footage for that for you.
Very best ever. He must make the double. He has to save the shooter. He trails by 2. It's a tough shot.
Hey, Luke, want to make a bet? Let's see here.
And the trip to the Air Canada Silver Broom awaits the winner. The final rock of the 10th end. Captain must skill both down little stones and save the shooter. Holding well up there. Now it's starting to curl. Is he going to hit it? Is he going to get a piece of it? He may have it. Oh, World Championship and 1 Canadian six title.
Rick Lang making a shot and the game. World champions.
We'll see a reaction from the front end. Rick Lang makes his hand. There it is. It's all over. Look at Henry.
There it is. Great footage. up back in 1938, 82, and 85. And you notice how many times Don Dugan changed his mind in that shot, did you? Yes, he's got no. Oh boy, there's Don. I should tell you, ladies and gentlemen, why we're here. This is a very special night for amateur and professional athletes who have excelled at their sport, for builders of sports who have dedicated their time, effort, and talents to encourage and inspire young people to compete in sports, and for teams, individuals who have pulled together to succeed in their chosen sport, more concerned about the team effort and success than their own personal accomplishments. It's exciting for us, too, because we have the opportunity tonight to share in the thrill of these victories and accomplishments. Now, these successes in many cases didn't come very easy. Some had setbacks, unexpected losses, and even tragedies. But with love of their sport, their determination and persistence to do their very best, they went on to succeed, and that's why they're being honored tonight. Some of our inductees are with us tonight, and some will be honored posthumously. To all, thank you for letting us share these special moments with us. Congratulations to all the inductees. Now we'll start our induction ceremonies right now, and we're going to be talking about the teams who are the honored tonight. I'd like to call upon the president of the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Rob McCormick, to make the presentations as well. Rob? This is for the 1938 Royal Canadian Henley Regatta Junior Fours champions. In 1938, 4 rowers representing the Fort William Rowing Club earned the distinction of becoming the first crew to claim a team victory for Northwestern Ontario at the prestigious Royal Canadian Henley Regatta, doing so in the Junior Fours event. Their crew consisted of Murray Teeple as stroke, George Nickerson and Jim Miller, both of whom learned their rowing skills while competing in Kenora, and George Moores in the bow position. The crew gained entry into the final event of the Junior Fours by qualifying in the second heat, preliminary round, and against crews from Lachine, Quebec, and Buffalo, New York. In the final heat of the event, Fort William was matched against crews from Winnipeg, the University of Toronto, and Lachine. Fort William took an early lead in the final race, went on to finish the mile and 550-yard course in a remarkable time of 6 minutes and 59 seconds. The crew crossed the finish line in an impressive 4 boat lengths ahead of the second-place Winnipeg team to claim the 56th Royal Canadian Henley Regatta Junior Fours Championship title. The victory was a double triumph for Fort William, inasmuch as they had been defeated by Winnipeg at the Northwestern Ontario International Rowing Association Regatta just 1 week prior. Fort William's time marked the fastest recorded finish in the Henley Junior Fours, St. Catharines course, since the event was first held back in 1903. Their record remained unbroken for the next 14 years of Henley competition, providing just, or at least proving just how outstanding the accomplishments made by these Northwestern Ontario oarsmen truly was. Now, accepting the awards, on behalf, first of all, the 3 members are being honored posthumously. Accepting on behalf of George Moores is his wife, Eunice. Accepting on behalf of George Nickerson, his son, Michael. Accepting on behalf of Murray Teeple, his son, Paul. Representing the team, the only surviving member of the team, Jim Miller from Richmond, BC. Jim? all the members would please remain up on stage until we...
That's it.
Junior Fours champions. There they are. Murray Tiefel, will you please come back up?
Paul.
And Jim Muller will remain seated to represent the team. The year 1982 will be remembered as the year that Northwestern Ontario left its mark in the sport of curling at the world level. That year, the Al Hackner rink of Thunder Bay went on to claim the illustrious Air Canada silver broom, emblematic of world curling supremacy. The role that led skip Al Hackner, lead Bruce Kennedy, second Bob Nickel, third Rick Lang, and fifth man Al Fiskar to the world title was long and well fought one. Winning the right to represent Thunder Bay at the Northern Ontario Tankard, the Hackner rink defeated the Jack McFarland rink of Sault Ste. Marie. It was an 8-4 final game, and I remember one of those great shots that Al Hackner made there in Marathon. It was a dandy. From there, it was on the national championship, the Labatt Brier, held in Brandon, Manitoba. The previous year, Hackner had placed second at the Brier and was eager to win. The rink went on to defeat the Brent Giles rink of British Columbia in a decisive 7-3 victory, claiming only the second Canadian men's curling title won by a rink from Northwestern Ontario, the first, of course, with Bill Tetley. I recall that morning in 1982 getting a call from John French, who will be honored here tonight as well, giving me a report on that, and he was proud, as he called them, of his boys. This victory earned the rink the right to represent Canada at the World Championships in Garmisch, West Germany. In the final game of the World Champions, the Hackner rink faced Jurg Tanner, that was the rink from Switzerland, the defending world champion. In the 9th end, Hackner was leading 8-7. Moving into the 10th end, Hackner drew to the button, recording a 9-7 final. This victory marked only the second time that a Canadian rink had won the world title since 1973, and was the first time of its kind for Northwestern Ontario. For their outstanding contribution to the Canadian sports world, these exceptional Northwestern Ontario curlers received the Sports Excellent Award from the government of Canada, were named the 1982 Ontario Sports Team of the Year, and this past March were inducted into the Canadian Curling Hall of Fame. I'd like to introduce the team for you right now. The fifth man, Al Fiskar. Lead, Bruce Kennedy. Second, Bob Nickel. Third, Rick Lang. And skip, Al Hackner. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, the 1982 Canadian and World Men's Curling Champion, Al Hackner. As Al was relating to me just last week, although he's a high-profile skip, we all know that, he said it's strictly a team effort. It was a team that did it, and they pulled it all together. thing here because he has to come back to the 85 team. That's what you get for winning. Sit down now. Now I'd like to honor the 1985 Canadian and World Men's Curling Champions, the Al Hackner Rink. In 1985, Northwestern Ontario once again proved to be the world, or to the world, that their curlers were a force to be reckoned with. That year, the Hackner Rink of Thunder Bay, consisting of skip Al Hackner, lead Pat Perot, second Ian Tetley, and third Rick Lang, and fifth man Bruce Kennedy, claimed our region's second world curling title by winning the Air Canada Silver Broom. The Hackner Rink entered the Northern Ontario Tankard held that year in Dryden, where they defeated the Rolly Ralph Rink of Sault Ste. Marie to gain entry into the national championships. It was at the Labatt-Fryer in Moncton, New Brunswick, that the exceptional talent of these outstanding curlers truly shone. The Pat Ryan Rink of Alberta had set a Brier record that year by winning 11 straight games in the preliminary rounds, earning a bye into the final. Alberta, however, was to meet their match against the Northwestern team in one of the most thrilling finals in the event's history. With Alberta leading 5-3 in the 10th end, skip Al Hackner made a dramatic cross-ice double takeout, tying the score and forcing the final into an extra end showdown. Not only did he take the two out, or take the rocks out, he also sat, and that was very important to get that extra point. During that final game, each member of the rink curled exceptionally well, with lead Pat Perot recording a seldom-made perfect game, curling at 100%. Didn't miss a thing. At the World Championship in Glasgow, Scotland, the Hackner Rink went on to defeat the Stefan Hasselborg Rink of Sweden with a decisive 6-2 victory. This winner earned Canada its 9th world title and second in 4 years for Northwestern Ontario. For their outstanding athletic achievement, these Northwestern Ontario curlers were named to the 1985 Ontario Team of the Year. I'd like to introduce the team to you right now. Fifth man, Bruce Kennedy. Lead 100%, Pat Perot. Second, Ian Tetley. Third, Rick Lang. Your turn again, Al. And skip, Al Hackner. Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, the 1985 Canadian and World Men's Curling Champions, the Al Hackner Rink. Say it this time, Al. We'd like now to honor our professional athletes and I'd like to call upon a former Hall of Fame inductee to make a presentation to Benny White. Benny? Posthumously. Albert Langdon's exceptional talents in baseball afforded him the distinction of becoming one of the first of only a very few Northwestern Ontario ball players to sign a Major League Baseball contract. Born in Fort William in 1931, Ab became active in baseball pitching with many midget, junior, and senior teams during the 1940s. In 1950, Ab's talent led him to the Jack Rossiter Baseball School in Florida. From there, he was signed by the Washington Senators of the American League, went to play for their farm team in Orlando, Florida. Local papers touted Ab as having an outstanding chance of going all the way to the majors. It was not surprising, therefore, when Calvin Griffith of the Senators afforded Ab a position on the seniors' AAA team in 1953 as a lead-up to his entry into the major leagues. It was at this point that fate would unfortunately intervene, with illness forcing Ab to retire and return home. Upon his return, Ab played a couple of years with the Port Arthur Red Sox, where he was not only an outstanding strikeout record, but also was the top batter with his team. In fact, in one of the games, his brother Bill was telling me that even under sedation, he had struck out 14 players in that game. And Bill said when he was younger, he just had a hard time catching him and had to get one of his friends to catch for him because he had so much on that ball. He was a great pitcher. It was 32 years ago today, in 1956, Ab passed away at the young age of 25, bringing to a premature end his outstanding athlete's most promising baseball career. In his memory, the Ab Onulac Memorial Trophy was presented at the Lakehead Baseball Association to honor the senior baseball batting champion. The accomplishments made by Ab Onulac through his baseball career are even more outstanding when one considers the fact that he lost the use of his sight in one eye at the age of 2 years. A disability did not stand in his way to make his professional baseball ranks. An exceptional man. Accepting the award on behalf of Ab Onulac, first of all, I'd like to introduce Michael Onulac. Michael?
Take your word. That's it, okay.
And Randy Onulac. Boys are from Vancouver, Washington, and traveled here for this honor for their father. To officially accept the award on behalf of his brother, Ab Onulac, we'd like to welcome Bill Onulac. Bill? Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in the professional category, Albert Ab Onulac. The athlete is Tom Jones. Tom Jones' professional racing career saw championship titles claimed in slalom, ice, rally, and GT class racing. Tom began his auto racing career in Port Arthur at the age of 16, turning professional at the age of 19, and traveling across Canada winning titles in slalom and hill climbing events. He actually got the interest for the car racing sport when he saw his first Grand Prix, I think when he was at the age of 6 or 7 in that area, thanks to his father. And he also ran his first race at the old CLE grounds when he was supposed to be 18. He was 16. Sort of told a fib about his age. Well, they didn't ask and he didn't tell. I think that's the way it worked out. During the 1960s, Tom started racing in the rally circuit, earning first place finish in the class in the Shell 4000 and the Caras 1000 rally race in Jamaica. In 1969 and 72, Tom finished first in the Detroit POR. His outstanding record earned Tom the distinction of becoming Canada's first FIA-rated rally driver. During the 1970s, Tom focused his attention on ice racing and International Ice Racing Association, dominating the circuit with numerous first-place finishes, including the ice race 100-mile and stockroom show races in 1977 and 1978. Tom's sports car racing career took off in the late 1970s, becoming the Prairie Region GT2 champion in 1979. In 1980, Tom won the Sports Car Club of America's Central Division GT2 class and the GT3 class in 1981. At the Canadian Auto Sports Club Championship at Mosport in 1980, Tom added a national title to his record, winning the Canadian GT2 champion, with the same time setting a track record in his class and beating the GT1 finishing time, a feat never before accomplished. In 1981, Tom became the first Canadian to ever win both the GT1 and the GT2 titles on the same day at the Western Canadian Sports Car Championships. The highlight of his racing season, however, came as the U.S. Nationals in Atlanta where he claimed the U.S. title. Not surprisingly, Tom was signed by the Ford Motor Company as their #1 driver in Canada. In 1982, Tom reclaimed his Western Canadian title and won all 5 races at the Molly Slip Challenge Title Series. In 1984, Tom officially retired from the race, still holding Canadian and U.S. lap records in his class. Now please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, the professional ranks and exceptional car racer, Tom Jones. Our next professional athlete to be honored is Lee Fogland, Sr. Lee Fogland's exceptional hockey talents led him to an 11-year professional career and claim for the Stanley Cup title. Lee learned and developed his defensive hockey skills while playing midget, bantam, and junior hockey in Fort William during the 1940s. In 1945, he played for the Galt Red Wings in the OHA Junior A circuit before signing a pro contract with the Detroit Red Wings in 1946. Lee spent the 1946-47 season with the Red Wings farm team, the Omaha Knights of the USHL. The next season, he was sent with Indianapolis of the AHL before moving up to join the Red Wings lineup for most of the 1948-49 season. In 1950, Lee contributed his defensive skills to the Red Wings Stanley Cup victory, earning Lee entry into the very select group of Northwestern Ontario hockey players to attain NHL supremacy. During the 1950-51 season, Lee moved on to the Chicago Blackhawks, where he remained there for 5 years. A big man, Lee was known as the policeman of the Hawks and was reputed to be one of the NHL's hardest checkers. At one point in his career with Chicago, Lee was actually noted to have stopped as many shots as the Hawks goalie Al Rollins did during 2 periods of play. And not surprisingly, Lee was selected a member of the 1951 NHL All-Star Team defensive lineup. Following the 1955-56 season, Lee retired from the NHL and was signed on as the playing coach of the Calgary Stampeders of the WHL, after which time he returned to Port Arthur, where he began coaching local teams. From 1960 to 1964, Lee served as the coach of the Port Arthur Senior Bearcats, with 1962 marking the first time a Canadian team ever won the Ahern Trophy, emblematic of European ice hockey supremacy. During the 1970s, Lee was also served as coach of the Thunder Bay Twins, topping off his 4 decades of involvement in the game of hockey. Please welcome to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in the professional category, exceptional hockey player, Lee Fogland. To honor our first amateur athlete, and I'd like to call upon Hall of Famer Ruth Black to make the presentation. Ruth. Our first amateur athlete to be honored, James Jimmy Hill, who lives in Duluth and is with us tonight. We're happy to have him. Born in Kenora and raised in Port Arthur, Jim Hill went on to become one of the finest amateur athletes involved in sports at the local level during the 1930s and 40s. His versatility and outstanding athletic abilities allowed him to participate in and excel at a wide variety of both individual and team-oriented sports. A goalie for the Port Arthur hockey team for 15 years, Jim contributed strongly to the Port Arthur Seniors' 1937 Thunder Bay Manitoba Championship title, being voted most valuable player honors in the league. In 1944, he minded the net once again as the Pascal hockey team went on to claim the Western Canadian Championship title, earning entry into the Allen Cup finals. Playing outfield and shortstop for the Port Arthur softball teams, he was a member of 3 commercial and 3 district championship teams. A halfback and kicker in football. He played for the Port Arthur collegiate team for 3 years, claiming a district championship in 1932. Another 3 years for the Port Arthur seniors, saw a district title in 1934. Basketball was another sport Jim was involved in as Port Arthur collegiate, playing forward for 2 intercollegiate and 3 district championship teams. A member of the Shunya and Hillcrest soccer teams during the 1930s, Jim's exceptional talents as a fullback led him to be named to the local all-star team, which played against the touring English team in 1938. In 1939, while in Saskatchewan playing with the CN Railway Soccer Club, Jim added a provincial title to his record. Jim also excelled in individual sports with first-place finishes in the pole vault and discus at district levels. Successful golfer, Jim claimed tournament victories in Duluth during the 1940s and is still active in the game today. Throughout his entire amateur athletic career, Jim truly demonstrated the attributes of an outstanding all-round athlete. Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, James Jimmy Hill. Jim. Our next athlete to be honored in the amateur ranks category, Helen Gary Reed. Demonstrating superior athletic abilities, Helen's amateur athletic career at the local level spanned over 5 decades and saw involvement in a wide variety of sports. Growing up in Fort William, Helen first demonstrated her outstanding athletic abilities while active with high school athletics during the 1920s. In track and field, she competed in the broad and high jumps and the relay events at the district level. An accomplished basketball player in high school, Helen went on to play for the Fort William YMCA's girls basketball team. While playing for the Y team, that Helen was offered the opportunity to try out for the world champion Edmonton Grads. But their coach, Percy Page, made an offer, but she declined, preferring to stay in her hometown. By the way, she was also the one that made the YMCA also become the YWCA. She was on that committee, and she was sort of a feminist before her time. Helen was involved in other sports during the 1920s and 30s, including hockey for the Fort William YMCA of the Thunder Bay Ladies Hockey Association, and with numerous cities and intercity baseball teams. Helen's outstanding abilities as an individual athlete were well demonstrated in the sport of swimming, where she won 3 City of Fort William Championship titles and won the 1-mile Loon Lake race 5 years in a row. An avid curler for over 30 years, Helen's involvement was both as a participant and as a builder. She skipped her rinks to victories in numerous bonspiels in Winnipeg, Wauwatosa, I believe it is, Duluth, and throughout Northwestern Ontario. In 1951, she skipped her rink to a perfect record at the Lakehead Women's Bonspiel. Involved in the formation of the Northwestern Ontario Ladies Curling Association, she helped build the sports among high school girls and was chairperson for many bonspiels. In 1987, she became the first female recipient of the Sunlight Grand Prix of Curling Honor Award for contributions to that sport. Please welcome to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Helen Gary Reed.
Hold it. That's better.
next athlete to be honored in the amateur ranks, Henry Hank Ackerville. The sign of a truly exceptional all-around amateur athlete is the ability to compete in a wide variety of sports and excel in all of them. Such is the case with Henry Ackerville, whose amateur athletic career was spanned over 20-30 years and included involvement in close to 10 different sports. Henry's first exhibited his outstanding athletic abilities while attending high school in Port Arthur, where he competed in football, basketball, and track and field, setting a district record in the junior boys pole vault in 1952. At the same time, Henry was also active with local hockey and baseball teams, contributing to the Port Arthur Giants' 1955 Senior Baseball League title, and earning the 1958 Port Arthur Minor Bantam Defenseman Award in hockey. In 1956, Henry's outstanding hockey skills led him to the Hamilton Tiger Cubs, which were noted as the OHA's Junior A All-Star Defenseman honors in 1958. From there, it was on to the Michigan Tech Huskies, where he was selected a member of the U.S. National All-Star Team during this time there, and voted All-American honors in 1962, the same year that his team won the NCAA Division I championship. While at Michigan Tech, Henry also lettered for four years in javelin and discus. In 1963, Henry was appointed by playing coach for the Finnish Taparas, I believe. Taparas? My Finn is not too good today. Benji, what is it? Tapana Hockey Club, and in 1964, his exceptional hockey skills earned him the distinction of serving as the captain of the Canadian Olympic hockey team at the Winter Olympic Games in Innsbruck, Austria. Should mention one thing about Henry. He was also offered a chance to go play with Detroit. They said, if you don't come here and you stay in college or university, you will not make it to the NHL. He said, I'll get my education, thank you, and he never regretted it. During the 1960s and 70s, Henry continued on his amateur hockey career with the Port Arthur Bearcats and the Thunder Bay Twins. At the same time, he participated and excelled in a wide variety of sports, including fastball, golf, skiing, curling, bowling, squash, and flat and whitewater canoeing. Today, Henry is still active in athletics, both as a participant and as a coach. Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, all-around athlete, Henry Hank. Athlete to be honored in the amateur ranks, John Roy Chambers. During the 1930s and 40s, Jack Chambers demonstrated the superior athletic qualities which marked his rowing career as one of the Northwestern Ontario's finest. Jack started rowing with the Fort William Rowing Club during the early 30s. During his close to 15 years with the club, Jack competed successfully in doubles, fours, workboat, eights, and the very challenging single sculls event. Jack contributed his talents to the Fort William Club's 8 Lipton titles in the Northwestern Ontario International Rowing Association's annual regattas in 1935, 1937-39, and 1946-49. Jack was a two-time competitor in the prestigious Royal Canadian Henley Regatta with the Fort William Junior 150-pound eights in 1935, and on his own in 1938 in the Junior 140-pound single sculls. It was in the Junior 140-pound singles event that Jack earned distinction of becoming the first rower from a Northwestern Ontario club to win an individual Canadian Henley Regatta title. The course for the 56th Henley Regatta was set on the Welland Canal in Port Dalhousie. As the final heat of the event, Jack was matched against entries from Regina and Detroit. Jack finished the race in a time of 8 minutes and 40 seconds and was an impressive 8 boat lengths ahead of the second place finisher. Back in Fort William, Jack continued to demonstrate his outstanding rowing abilities while serving as a member of numerous gold medal winning crews at the NWIRA regattas. Following his retirement from competitive rowing in the late 1940s, Jack contributed his expertise to the building side of the sport, serving for a while as coach and skipper of the Fort William Rowing Club. Please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in the amateur ranks, an exceptional rower, Jack King. Jack. Now we're going to honor our builders of sport. I'd like to ask a former Hall of Famer to make a presentation, Nels Gabrielli. Nels. To be honored posthumously. Hilda Donati did not just limit her love for the game of hockey to spectating, although those who knew her remember her as one of the most dedicated fans of the Port Arthur teams. This outstanding builder of Northwestern Ontario youth hockey contributed many years to the development of the game. Hilda first got involved in the game of hockey playing for a girls' team while growing up in Manitoba. Moving to Port Arthur in the early 1930s, Hilda became an executive member of the Port Arthur West End Junior Hockey Organization, a position she held for many years. Hilda's affiliation with the Pee Wee hockey began in 1942. Tom Trompton, and then president of the Port Arthur Minor Hockey Association, mentioned to Hilda while visiting her coffee shop that there was no one willing to sponsor one of the teams in the Pee Wee division of the league. Hilda took up the challenge, taking over the sponsorship and coaching duties. As if in a storybook finish, Hilda's team went on to win the Pee Wee Championship title that year. And of course, she was the founder of Pee Wee hockey in that town. Realizing a number of youngsters who wanted to play hockey, but who were unable to make the Pee Wee teams in the minor leagues, Hilda decided to create the opportunity for them. Acting as the prime fundraiser, organizer, and manager, Hilda established Thunder Bay's first Pee Wee Hockey League in 1945. In its first year of operation, Hilda's League, as it was called, consisted of 8 teams, with each of the players being personally selected, assigned, and outfitted by this one-woman executive. In 1948, the league had grown to include over 20 teams, with Hilda's Canadians playing in the midget, bantam, and juvenile circuit as well. The league continued on until the early 1950s. Sadly, this outstanding builder of amateur sport passed away suddenly back in 1956. Her outstanding efforts allowed thousands of young people who otherwise may not have had the chance to participate in the game of hockey. Accepting the award on behalf of, and I should mention one thing about Hilda, I just forgot about that. Her brother was telling me that she was at a hockey game at Maple Leaf Gardens back in 1946. She was there, I think, visiting Frank Selke at the time. I'm not sure if she was sitting with Frank at the time. But during the game, she threw a corset on the ice. And I understand from her brother that it was a spare one and not the one she was wearing. But accepting the award on behalf of Hilda Fiore Donati, her brother Lawrence Fiore.
Okay, look this way, please.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in the builder category, Hilda Donati. Our next builder of sports will be honored posthumously, John E. French. John dedicated over 35 years of his life to the enhancement and promotion of athletics in Northwestern Ontario, with much of that time being spent providing sporting opportunities for the youth in his community. Shortly after his arrival in Fort William in the late 1940s, John built an outdoor rink at his company's location on Syndicate Avenue for local children to use for winter activities. An avid curler, John not only participated successfully in the game for close to 30 years, but he contributed greatly to the sport's development as a coach and organizer. A strong supporter of young people's curling, he served as a coach for the schoolboys curling. In 1971, his hard work and coaching expertise led the Fort William Collegiate Doug Smith rink to the Northwestern Ontario and Northern Ontario Schoolboy Championships title. The Smith rink consisted of Doug Smith, Tim Wigand, Warren Butters, and Rick Lang. Went on to place second in the Canadian Schoolboy Championships held in Kamloops, BC, and two of John's proteges, Rick Lang and Bob Nickel, went on to become world champions in curlers. It was also in 1971 that John helped pioneer the Grand Prix of curling at the Port Arthur Curling Club, an event he was involved with until his passing in 1983, and which is still carried on today. In 1981, John's volunteer efforts and financial support through the Airlane Motor Hotel helped raise $10,000 for the Canada Games held here in Thunder Bay. For his outstanding contribution to the sport in Northwestern Ontario, John was named Man of the Year at the Grand Prix Curling in 1982 and received the posthumous Citizens Award for the City of Thunder Bay back in 1983. Since 1983, the John French Memorial Award has been presented annually at the Heart to Heart Monsfield, and in 1984, the Northwestern Ontario Curling Association Mixed Curling Trophy was first presented in memory of this outstanding builder of sports. Accepting the award on behalf of John French, his son Bill French. John's wife, Muriel.
Hey, hold it, Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, the builder of sport, John French. Our next builder of sports, Dr. George Gwozdecki. Dr. Gwozdecki has contributed over 35 years to amateur sports at the local, national, and international level. Shortly after his arrival in Port Arthur in the late 1940s, Dr. Gwozdecki became active with many local clubs. He served as coach, manager, and president of the Lakehead Soccer Association, vice president of the Lakehead Tennis Club, president of the Port Arthur Bearcats, and director of the Port Arthur Junior Mars. Dr. Gwozdecki's contribution to amateur sports was also evident in the amount of medical expertise he donated while serving as a club doctor and medical officer. He acted as a club doctor for the Port Arthur Flyers, Bearcats, and Mars, physician in the Thunder Bay Water Ski Club, and involved with the Fort William Redskins and Thunder Bay Giants. For 20 years, Dr. Gwozdecki was also on hand to help out with the Legion 10-mile road race held each year in Thunder Bay. Dr. Gwozdecki's efforts on behalf of amateur sports and his knowledge in the field of sports medicine led him to be named Chief Medical Officer for numerous national and international events. He served as a Chief Medical Officer at the 1973 Ontario Winter Games, the 1978 Canadian Figure Skating Championships, and the 1981 Canada Games. In 1983, he was named to the medical staff of the Canadian team at the Pan American Games in Venezuela, and in 1976 was appointed the Chief Medical Officer of the Canadian Winter Olympics team in Innsbruck, Austria. From 1974 to 1985, Dr. Gwozdecki was the Chief Medical Officer for the World Cup and national events at Big Thunder Ski Jumping Facility. A member of the Canadian Council of Sports Medicine, Dr. Gwozdecki was instrumental in instituting the Northwestern Ontario's first sports medicine clinic at Confederation College's Fitness Center back in 1978, treating thousands of sports injuries over the years. He is currently involved with the Northwestern Ontario Sports Medicine Clinic. Of course, he will be joining his wife and his son. His son is an attaché for the Canadian government there. And of course, all the athletes, if they have any particular problems, they come right to his son. So it's a big deal for him going over to Seoul. He leaves tomorrow morning. So would you please welcome into the Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, a builder of sports, Dr. George. George Woznicki has his 1976 Olympic jacket on there. Very proud of that. Should be. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1988 Northwestern Ontario Sports Hall of Fame inductees. Carolyn's with the pipes and drums of Thunder Bay. I'd like her to come up and pipe off the inductees. Carolyn Carlson, please welcome Carolyn Carlson with the pipes and drums of Thunder Bay. Mulling around and enjoying yourself, and I hope you stay for quite a while. We'll have some music later on, and Pat Towell will be doing some songs for us and the likes if you wish to dance. Just enjoy yourself. We would ask the inductees to sort of sneak back as all this is going on because we need a picture of you up on the stage all together. So if you don't mind coming back on stage, as the rest of us have a lot of fun, you can make a picture taken. I'd like to have Gordon Compton on too. Gordon?